Rue, who was famous for her sassy and lively personality on The Golden Girls, was born in 1934 in Hilton, Oklahoma. She grew up in a simple home above her mom's beauty salon. Money wasn't easy, but love and laughter filled their lives. Rue was popular with both boys and girls, and her kind and sweet nature made her popular with everyone. She was also smart and did well in school, but Rue wasn't just about schoolwork. She loved dance and even owned her own dance studio. Although it was clear when she was in high school that she was destined for fame, Rue set her sights on the bright lights of New York City after college to follow her acting dreams. She spent years performing in small plays and barely making enough money to survive. It was hard, but Rue never gave up on her dream. During this time, she married her first husband, an actor named Tom Bish. They were excited to start a family, but when Rue got pregnant, Tom wasn't happy and told her not to talk about the baby until it was born. But her big break came in 1970 when she got the part of Caroline in Caroline Another World. Later, Rue joined the cast of the CBS soap opera Where the Heart Is, where she played Margaret Jardine. This role made her even more famous as a talented actress who could bring complex characters to life. Rue wasn't one to let a setback stop her, and she later said she had filmed a pilot episode for another Norman Lear show called The Backers, but she didn't like it, so she told him she didn't want to be a part of it. It's impressive that Rue had the guts to turn down a project from someone as important as Norman Lear. In 1983, Rue got another great part on the sitcom Mama's Family. She played Fran, a proper journalist who was the exact opposite of her sister, Mama Thelma Harper, who was loud and outspoken. The show was hilarious, and it also starred Betty White, who would go on to become a famous actress. Rue and Betty shared the screen for the first 2 seasons before the show was cancelled by NBC, but don't worry Mama's Family. Family fans, the show was later picked up for syndication, which meant it aired on different TV channels, but Rue and Betty weren't in it anymore. It was sad to see them go, but no one knew that an even better chance was just around the corner for both of them, the Golden Girls era. In 1985, the show's creators, Susan Harris, Paul Younger, Whit, and Tony Thomas, were looking for the perfect cast for their new sitcom, which would be about 4 older women living together in Miami and dealing with life. Finding the right actresses was very important because the chemistry between them would make or break the show. Rue McClanahan, who is known for her comedic skills, was originally considered for the role of Rose Nyland, who is sweet and naive. But after reading the script, she felt a stronger connection to Blanche Deyo, who is sassy and man-hungry. It was a role that fit her fiery personality and southern charm. There was one small problem, though. Bea Arthur, who had worked with Rue on the show Ma wasn't. Although she didn't want to be cast with her former co-star, the producers persuaded her to join, and she ended up playing the witty and sarcastic Dorothy Zaborik during the auditions. In another interesting switch, Betty White, who was originally considered for Blanche, ended up switching roles with Rue. This was a genius move, as Rue was born to play the lively Blanche, and Betty's comedic timing and charm were perfect for Rose. Blanche's audition was unforgettable. She brought a special energy and flair to the part, channeling her inner Southern belle with a flirty attitude and a twinkle in her eye. The producers were impressed, and Rue was offered the role that would define her career. Rue McClanahan's performance as Blanche Deyo was nothing short of iconic. Blanche was cocky and always looking for love. She loved to brag about her many suitors and past loves. But Rue showed a softer side of Blanche by showing her. Critics and viewers loved Rue's performance as Blanche. She found the perfect balance of humor, southern charm, and sass, making her one of the most beloved characters on TV. Whether she was delivering witty one-liners or handling more serious moments, Rue's talent shone through her amazing work on The Golden Girls. In 1987, she won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, proving she was a comedic powerhouse. Nominations for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, solidifying her status as a television legend. Later in her career, Rue McClanahan's acting skills weren't limited to sitcoms. She took on a wide range of roles, showing off her versatility and acting prowess. In the powerful 1970s film Slight Drinking Problem, she played a supportive leader of Al-Anon, helping Patty Duke's character deal with her husband's alcoholism. But Rue's acting journey didn't end there. She also appeared in movies like The Rotten Apple and Walk the Afraid Beach. Rue showed that she could easily play both comedic and dramatic roles. She even had a memorable part in the hilarious comedy Out to Sea, where she shared the screen with legends Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. On TV, Rue continued to shine. In The Dreamer of Oz, she played Matilda Jocelyn Gage, the famous author of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Frank Ball's mother-in-law. She also made guest appearances on hit shows like Murder, She Wrote and New. In the early 1990s, Rue starred in a trilogy of heartwarming TV movies called Children of the Bride, Baby of the Bride, and Mother of the Bride. These movies were about the good and bad parts of family life, and audiences connected with Rue's relatable and heartfelt performances. Rue's talent wasn't limited to live-action roles. She also did voice work for animated projects, like the adorable Scarlet in the Fox Christmas special Annabelle's. Wish she had played Steve's grandmother on the popular kids show Blue's Clues, showing that she could connect with people of all ages. She also had roles in popular animated shows like Spider-Man and Starship Troopers, and she voiced a character in the animated sitcom King of the Hill in 2009. Rue made a memorable guest appearance on Law and Order as a woman who had an affair with President John F. Kennedy. Art McClanahan's star continued to shine brightly on Broadway after her. In 2001, Rue joined an all-female cast for a production of The Women, sharing the stage with talented actresses like Cynthia Nixon and Jennifer Coolidge. It was a powerful performance that showed how strong and resilient women are. Rue also played Hannah Warren in Neil Simon's comedy California Suite, filling in for Tammy Grimes for a short time but giving her a chance to show off her comedic skills in a different setting. In 2003, Rue teamed up with Mark Hamill, who was famous for his role as Luke Skywalker. In the romantic comedy 6 Dance Lessons in 6 Weeks, she performed with Polly Bergen at the Coconut Grove Playhouse in Miami, making the two of them a charming and entertaining duo. However, Rue chose not to continue with the show for its run on Broadway, giving the part to Bergen. That same year, Rue was in the feel-good musical comedy The Fighting Temptations, sharing the screen with talented actors like Cuba Gooding Jr., Beyonce Knowles, Mikey Pease, and Steve Harvey. Her lively personality and contagious energy made her a perfect fit. Because of the movie's positive message, Rue went back to Broadway in 2005 to play Madame Moreau, a powerful and manipulative headmistress, in the hit musical Wicked. She replaced Carol Shelley as Madame Moreau, and her commanding presence and comedic timing made her a memorable addition to the cast, earning her praise from both critics and audiences. In June 2008, the Golden Girls won a special award at the TV Land Awards, where Rue, B. Arthur, and Betty White accepted the Pop Culture Award. Heartwarming reunion for the beloved cast members and a testament to the show's enduring legacy. Rue's last acting role was as Peggy Ingram on the cable show Sordid Lives. It was a fitting farewell for an actress who had spent her whole career entertaining and captivating audiences. Failed marriages. After her first divorce, she married Norman Harwig, an actor she met through the theater world. They connected over their shared passion for acting, but their marriage didn't last because of Rue's relentless. In 1965, Rue married Peter Deo, a director and playwright, to pursue her career and ease the pain of her previous divorce. Their marriage provided stability and professional collaboration as they worked on different projects together, but as Rue's career took off, the demands of her success put a strain on their relationship, and they divorced in 1971. Rue's fourth husband was Gus Pfizer, a hotel manager. At first, their marriage seemed promising as Gus offered a break from the hectic world of show business, but in 1984, Rue married someone she didn't really want to. Tom Heel, a businessman. Unfortunately, this marriage was the most troubled and short-lived of all of them. Their personalities clashed, and Rue's role on the Golden Girls put extra stress on the relationship, and they split up just a year later. Rue's last marriage was to Mara Wilson, an actress and writer. They got married in 1997 and had the most happiness and stability. Mara supported Rue's career, and the two of them had a deep bond, but health problems, including a minor stroke in 2009, put a strain on their relationship. They broke up not long before Rue died in 2010. In 2007, Rue wrote an autobiography called My First Five Husbands and the Ones Who Got Away. It was an honest and funny look at her personal life, her relationships, and her rise to fame. The book became a bestseller and gave fans a glimpse into the real R. McClanahan behind the glamorous facade. Health problems were hidden behind R. McClanahan's contagious laughter and bright personality. Despite her success and seeming carefree Demi, she had crippling anxiety and panic attacks that started when she was 8 years old and her father left for World War II and didn't come back. These attacks were with her whole life. Rue's fear of abandonment came from both her father's absence and her first husband leaving her after the birth of their son. These traumatic events probably caused and made her anxiety worse. Her panic attacks, which would often start at dusk and last all night, were a constant source of distress for her. Rue turned to her love of animals to help her deal with her anxiety. She had a large collection of pets, including many dogs and cats. Her connection with animals gave her a sense of comfort and solace, and research has shown that owning a pet can indeed calm you down and lower your blood pressure. Despite these natural remedies, Rue's condition was severe enough that she needed medication. She was prescribed lorazepam, a strong drug used to treat anxiety and panic disorders. This shows that her anxiety was a big problem in her life. But Rue's problems didn't end there. She also had chronic pain in her side, an ache that wouldn't go away and followed her around for most of her adult life. No one knows what caused this pain, but it adds another layer to the complexity of her health problems. In 1982, while filming the show Mama's Family, R. McClanahan started having terrible pain in her side. It got so bad that she had to go to the hospital, where doctors found that her gallbladder was the cause of the problem. It is a small organ that helps with digestion, but sometimes stones can form inside it and cause a lot of pain. Rue had surgery to remove her gallbladder, which went well. Her son Mark was there to support her and was so worried about his mom. But after the surgery, Rue's health took a scary turn. She woke up and couldn't breathe. It was scary for her and her family, and they thought she might die. It turned out she had a very rare condition called acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS, which is super. This condition makes the lungs swell and fill with fluid, making it hard to breathe. In Rue's case, the stress of the surgery may have set it off. She was in a lot of pain for a few days and had to be heavily sedated. She spent 3 weeks in the hospital, and her family was very worried about her. But Rue was strong, and she eventually made a full recovery in 1985. Her life took an unexpected turn when she felt a lump under her arm during a massage. It turned out to be breast cancer. Rue and her boyfriend at the time, Mara Wilson, were devastated. They were just starting a new chapter in their lives, and now they had to deal with this major health scare. Rue's doctor told her that her breast cancer might be related to a drug she was taking called Vagifem. This drug is often used by women going through menopause, and it can raise the risk of breast cancer. But it looks like Rue was also taking another type of hormone replacement therapy. It's sad to think that Rue's health might have been worsened by the medicines she was taking. This shows how important it is to know the possible side effects of any medicine, even if it seems to help at first. Even though Rue had been diagnosed with cancer, she was determined to fight back. She had surgery as part of her treatment, and thankfully she was able to overcome this health challenge, but it was a hard and scary time for her. In November 2009, R. McClanahan was set to be honored by the gay community in San Francisco, but she ended up in the hospital instead. It turned out she needed heart surgery to clear out some clogged arteries. This kind of surgery is common, but it's still a big deal for someone Rue's age. After the surgery, Rue's friends worried that she looked weak and had lost some of her usual spark. It was a scary time for everyone who cared about her. It's important to note that Rue had always been a healthy person who ate right and worked out regularly, so it's likely that her heart wasn't the problem. Problems were just a result of getting older. As we age, our blood vessels can become less flexible, making it harder for blood to flow properly. But just when things were looking up, Rue had a stroke that paralyzed one side of her body. People even called her the Platinum Girl, which was a fitting name for a woman with a pure heart.